I've generated 1 million impressions for myself within 3 months of actual posting on LinkedIn. I write for other established founders, and I pretty consistently know how to make posts go viral. Like this, or this. So in this video, I'm going to cover the 3 parts of a LinkedIn post: the hook, the actual post body, and the image that goes along with it. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact ingredients that go into making a good post, and you'll be able to make them yourself. So the first part of the post, the hook. This is the most important aspect of a LinkedIn post. If someone gave me 10 minutes to write a post, I would spend my first 8 minutes writing the hook. It's that important. If no one presses that see more button, your entire post is a waste. No one is ever going to read that. So your hook needs to be the best. Now there's a few rules for this. 1, make it as concise as possible. Every single word needs to fight for its place. Also, make sure to use easy 5th grader language, so much so that absolutely anyone can understand what's written in your hook. LinkedIn gives you 3 lines before the see more button appears. The best practice for the hook is using the first line and using the 3rd line. Keep the 2nd line as a gap. I love explaining it using this concept. I need you to think of the people who are scrolling on the LinkedIn feed as 5th graders who have terrible attention spans. If they don't understand what the post is about, and if they're not able to read the hook within 1 second, they're immediately gonna scroll off. If it's like 2 lines long written all together, obviously like the moment you look at it, you're not able to understand what it's about. But if it's a short line first, then it leaves a line, and then it's a short line again, everyone's able to understand what the post is about as soon as they look at it. That's what your goal needs to be with the hook always. Then there's the actual post body. There's not too many rules for this. The one I like to follow is never make a paragraph longer than 3 lines. I like to keep it maximum a line or 2. I usually don't go into like the 3-line area, but if you're a person that likes to, kind of have longer writing, make sure that it's maximum 3 lines. Anything longer than that, people are not sitting there and reading the entire thing. Like they need some space so that their brain can understand that, okay, this is not like just a huge chunk of text. In regards to the post length, I like to keep it between 100 and 150 words. I feel like that's the sweet spot for me, where I'm able to say enough, where people are engaged, but not too little where it just doesn't bring them any value. Honestly, you can keep the post as long as you want, as long as the stuff you're writing is interesting. But again, I find the sweet spot to be 100 to 150 words. Then there's the type of post itself. There's multiple different types of posts on LinkedIn. There's the educating posts, there's storytelling, there's selling, where you're just like selling them something. There's also those funny posts that you get. There's also video posts. I'm just going to cover the one that consistently outperforms every single other type of post, which is the storytelling post. And the reason why storytelling posts perform so well on LinkedIn is, I want you to think about it. Have you seen those posts on LinkedIn that do extremely well, where people are just announcing that they got an internship or they got a job offer or they're ending their job? Like those posts do extremely well, because that's a personal experience for those people. And LinkedIn has bred itself on those kind of posts. Those kind of posts just tend to do well. So I have a few rules for how I make these. One is I always try to include the word I within the hook. I try to make it as personal and as specific as possible. Anything that kind of tips us more towards those kind of like personal declaration posts of like a job internship offer or whatever, that's good. So whatever advice I have, I try to make it a personal post. So if I want to make a post on how bad it is to constantly switch businesses because you never end up building anything great if you keep switching, I'll try and root that within a personal experience. So I would make the hook like, in 2023, I had a terrible habit of switching businesses. It cost me so much, or I can't tell you how much it cost me. And then maybe after that, after the see more button, I'll have a line of like a continuation of a personal experience of like, every time I'd made progress on something, something else started looking more attractive and I'd want to switch. And then I just continue with the lesson, which is like, You shouldn't switch the business model often, because if you touch 10 things, you'll build nothing great. So it's the exact same lesson, but I just found a way to package that into a personal story. Next is, within the hook itself, try to make it as specific as possible. So instead of I keep getting distracted, it wastes a lot of my time, my hook can be more specific, like in 2023, I had a terrible habit of switching businesses. I can't tell you how much it cost me. Or I wasted 2 years of my university life. Now suddenly it's so much more specific. It feels so much more of a personal, real experience rather than a general, I kept getting distracted, it wasted a lot of time. And the general guideline I like to follow for these posts is start with the story, like maybe like 3 lines, then go on to the lesson that you actually learned, and then go on to something actionable that that person can do. So if it's like, I had a terrible habit of switching businesses, this is what I learned is don't switch businesses. And so to you, the person who's watching, whatever you're doing right now, just stick to it even if other things look shiny. Now, suddenly you've made it a storytelling and an education post, and these posts do well. Then there's the image itself. Always try to make sure that the image is in a 4:5 ratio, because this type of image takes up the most space on the mobile feeds. And like 80% of LinkedIn users use mobile. Then obviously make sure that these pictures are good quality, and try to make sure that these pictures are shot from like a third person perspective rather than just a selfie. Because that shows more effort. It doesn't give that impression where, okay, this person just woke up and like decided to take a picture and just post it, you know? It doesn't feel low effort or sloppy. It feels higher effort. Plus, if there's some sort of emotion you're trying to convey through the picture, like sadness, anger, happiness, celebrating, whatever, taking a selfie and like having that face kind of feels fake, right? So always try to make sure the picture is from third person. Either someone else clicks it off you, or just set up a tripod or like keep it somewhere, and so it just looks like more real. And the thing is, the image is a very important part of your post, because I've had a bunch of people reach out to me and be like, I followed you because your pictures were good. So it's pretty decently important. If you want more advice on how to create good LinkedIn posts, follow my profile or just drop me a DM there. I'd be happy to help you out. But yeah, these were the 3 most important aspects of a LinkedIn post. I hope this was useful, and yeah, you got this.